welcome to America 2.0. My article comes from The Blaze. Let me just get that real quick. Here it is. This is about Convention of the States movement gains more momentum. Now, from what I understand from reading over this ahead of time, yeah, I know I cheated. There's a few states that have already joined this, I believe, and they're not mentioned here. This was put out... Sorry guys, the internet's kind of weird today. This was put out January 22, 2015. And I do believe Michigan, my home state, is part of this. For anyone that doesn't know, Convention of the States is in Article 5 of the United States Federal Constitution. It states that 31 states are needed to change things about government. And this one relates to the powers thereof of the federal government and reducing said authority thereof. And I'm not even going to bother to read it all because I know what I want to say. Resolution has been introduced by Arizona, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, New Hampshire, New Jersey, North Dakota, South Carolina, Virginia, Wyoming, joining Alaska, Florida, Georgia. So let me go over that list one more time. Let me just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 states already convened. I do believe Michigan and a few others are there already. So there could be as much as, let's see, I put you at about that, so I would say there's probably almost 15, maybe even as many as 18 states that have already joined this that these people are not listing. But the Republican wave in state legislature as last election could help, said Mark Meckler, co-founder of the Convention States Project, and it's an ambitious goal. If you asked me last year, I wouldn't have been certain, but was before November 2014, Meckler told The Blaze. Now Republicans control 31% of the state legislature. There has been radical sea changes at the state level. Our strategy is to prevent litigation, Meckler said. The language is not identical for the balanced budget amendment resolutions. If it gets 30 to 34, someone will question, do we really have to have 34? I have litigation. Or I hate litigation. Under Article 5 of the United States Constitution, it states 2/3 or 34 of the state legislatures to call a convention of the states to consider amendments. If the amendments are approved, 3/4 or 38 of the states would have to ratify them. There's loose cooperation, Meckler said, of this group, Balanced Budget Amendment Movement. There's certainly not antagonism, but it is a race to the finish line. The Convention of the States Project is working with the state legislature to pass resolutions on broad principles of fiscal restraint, limiting the scope and jurisdiction of the federal government, and the term limits of the members of Congress with identical language. Meckler said he thinks the blue state legislatures could be convinced based on desire of greater control of their own states. Right, so basically take back power from the feds and give them their own power, which they would actually support. Though the bulk support thus far is from Republicans, red states, not blue states, even though technically there are no red or blue. Former Oklahoma Senator Tom Coburn of 20 and likely 2016 presidential contenders, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal and former Arkansas Governor Michael Huckabee have endorsed Convention of the States Project. Mark Levin, who wrote Liberty Amendments about an Article 5 convention, has also been backed by the organization. Similarly, another potential 2016 candidate, Ohio Governor John Kasich, is traveling to several states to promote a convention of the Balanced Budget Amendment. As opposed to a single subject, Meckler said the convention appeals to a broad coalition of concerns. So it gives everybody a little piece of the pie instead of just one little item. I have nothing against the Balanced Budget Amendment, he said. You would get a balanced budget amendment under approach, but we have big tent approach. And that's the end. So, when I say they have 12 of 34, something like that, maybe 14, I think. I think that number is small. I think the actual number is 18. I really do. Michigan, I believe, signed it. I believed Ohio was even in it. So I find that hard that there were. I have a hard time thinking that Texas didn't jump at this. So again, I think there's a few being left out. Either they're on the sidelines or they haven't given complete commitment for this yet. Those of you that messaged me about it, yes, I did shave my head a little bit. It was a number one all the way around in case you want to get the same look. So anyways, as the Convention of the States movement gains more momentum, January 22, 2015, by Fred Lucas, 4.5 thousand shares.